Where we are on. How
Yes,
exciting.
we're making this thing happen.
Oh my God. Okay, okay. So I guess let's just wait like a few seconds and see if anybody jumps on. I don't have
Okay.
particularly a lot of people on this one. I have it on the other one, but it's fine. They'll eventually convert to this one at some
Yeah,
point. So
same with my other one. I don't have many people on the other one. This is like where I place more of my energy.
yeah, yeah, that's how it should be. I do it the other way around, but
Yeah,
yeah.
well, it's easy to get the personal side of things involved, so it's good because then they can transfer easily over to your business side too.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right. You want to start?
All right, so hey, hello everyone. My name is OMara. I'm with Protective Hairstyle Nation. What's your name again?
Viviana.
Viviana. I
You
am
said it right?
so sorry.
No, 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 you're good.
Viviana had reached out to me and was like, we should collaborate. And I thought it was a great idea because we're both in the business of educating others. More so educate on the front of hairstyle and protective styling and placing accessories that um, help your hair and not harm it. So that's mainly what I am about. I started this basically a year and some change ago. Initially, I've always wanted to do some kind of business related thing. I started off like selling, um, selling like um, snack packs for college kids. That's what I started off doing at first, and I was like, oh gosh, this isn't going anywhere. And then I went into creating a blog post site about women and men and etc. that don't fit into the average like box of um, the perfect size, the right size feet, the height situation. I'm like 5'1", so I was like, there are people short like me that might be looking for something that fits their body, pants that don't drag to the floor, you know. So that's where I had started off next, and that wasn't working for me. I didn't have the passion that I do have when it comes to doing hair and doing hair like things. My journey personally with hair started off when I was a child. I picked up braiding because my mother had passed away when I was 9 going on 10. And that kind of catapulted me into teaching myself how to braid, braiding on myself, braiding on my sister, braiding on family members, braiding on like church people hair. And then now I realize that this is something that I can show others how to do too. I am so sorry. That
No,
those are
you're
my
good.
dogs. I'm sorry. The little extra stuff going on in the background. I do have 2 dogs. Sorry about that, guys. My husband just came home, so he was like, they just got riled up. But yeah, so hair has always been a passion of mine, teaching women how to style their own natural hair and embracing the beauty that they already have. That's basically what I'm focused on doing. So some of the hair accessories that I create, I'm wearing now, this hair jewelry and a headscarf. This is a 2 double-sided headscarf that I created because it adds a little flair into your style, you know. And I also do hair, as you know, and this is one of the hairstyles I created. If you're interested, you can go to Protective Hairstyle Nation on IG and check that out. But I'm gonna pass that back on to you.
So it's just like what Omara said. This is our first collaboration, so I'm really excited to be connected with you all. So our goal is to expand our network and connect with different people from the industry. And it's just like, like she was talking about that she does hair. You don't have to be the same brand to collaborate and drive sales or build a community. I wanted to show you guys also that no matter how different, your passions are, your brands are, that we share similar interests, we still share similar passions, and we still collaborate the same through social media presence, through video content, which is important because a lot of people, not only do they want to read, but everything is more visual. People want to be able to have a little bit more personal interaction, and just like what you were saying, something impactful happened to you and it ties to a connection, like when your mom passed away, that kind of drove you to the passion that you have now. You know, it was like a push because it's connected with a strong emotion, you know, and you want everyone, your family members, to be proud of the things that you do, you know. So I think that same thing, it's very similar, that comes like to mind when I started my own entrepreneurship journey. So for those of you who are not familiar with what I do, my name is Viviana, and I am a career focused and technical writer. So what I do is I build and impact professional and business portfolios through literature and keyword optimization. And it's pretty much similar to what we're doing now. Everything is content related, you know, whether it's video, even on your Instagram stories, you have to essentially write content to have people understand product usability. And in my case, I provide a service. So I have to describe like what kind of services I provide and how it is beneficial to the person and that it produces results, because we all want results, you know. And I originally started doing this when I was in high school. You know, I did papers for people just to create and develop relationships with them, friendships, and people used to come to me, and for me, I felt like almost like needed, right? Wanted. And us as human beings, we like to have that, you know, that feeling of want and need. And that was kind of something that, you know, related to my passion. Wow, this person is really benefiting from what I'm offering. This person is really benefiting from, you know, this or that. And I just kind of continued on from there. So eventually, when I went to college, it grew into, hey, do my paper and I'll give you some cash for it. Or I'll, you know, get you Dunkin' Donuts for a week. So now I was getting rewarded for doing something that I loved, which was, you know, pretty much reading, writing, researching, and learning something new, you know. So my brain was like, wow, this is great. You know, I get to learn about this person and I get to learn about this thing, or whatever the case was, the subject, you know, matters. And that's kind of what really drove me into wanting to pursue my passions and wanting to pursue, you know, the things that I'm doing now, you know, which I absolutely love. And I wanted to not only just, you know, embrace this journey, but I wanted to also share it with different people in the industry and people that are looking to grow, to expand, to network. You know, I think that's, you know, pretty much what it's all about. And only thing I feel like a little bit bad for was when I did a paper for someone and it was pretty similar to my paper and they got a C and I got an A. So I was like, listen, no refunds, okay? Like you get what you get, but nobody cared. We were just trying to get by in school, you know, because school is it's like a full-time job, you know. You have to read, write, be good with the professors and whatever the case is. But, you know, I mean, yeah, like I said, that's pretty much what it's all about. So no matter what, you know, your passion, your situation is or whatever, collaborating with different industry leaders is definitely, you know, good. And I want to just give it back to Amana so then we can go ahead and just go over like what our process is, right? What our process is in terms of like building our community and what, you know, what drives us to, you know, like get clients and where do we get them from? Because we all have different, I guess, how do you say, platforms that suits, you know, different needs, you know. So in your case it would be, I believe it would be Instagram because you offer a product and it's more visually appealing, you know, to see your hair done, your beautiful makeup, your beautiful face, like, oh my gosh, she looks so nice and this is that, you know. So I'll hand it back to you and let the folks know your process.
All right, Viviana, thank you. So the process goes as follows. Initially, when I first started off, to gain clients, potential customers, people who'd be interested in what I have to offer, I started off doing giveaways. In my first giveaway, I was like, oh my gosh, nobody's going to like what I have to offer. Basically, my giveaway was for 2 wigs. It was called 2 wigs, 1 winner. And that was like the scariest part of starting off initially, to see if anyone would actually be interested in what I had. And I was surprised. I had like 400 people sign up to join into this giveaway. And that was like my number one, like, yes, things are happening for you. And that's how I gathered emails to put together for my email list. And so I was emailing this list like once a week or twice a week, I mean. And people started dropping off, and I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm like
Right.
missing on my people now. Maybe I'm doing a little too much. So I dropped it down and I decreased to like once a week. And I was finding that as I was doing more giveaways, I was getting people, but they weren't the clientele that I was actually looking for. So I kind of shifted more into doing more Instagram, showing my process of doing hairstyles on myself, sharing resources on others who have hairstyles that people can achieve, styles that you don't have to braid for, styles that you do twists or braids, etc., on natural hair, styles on locks, and things of that nature, and incorporating my products within my videos, like this hair accessory. But yeah, that's basically the process. I also do blog posting. It's not as frequently as I would like it to be, but that's something I got to get on to. And I also have a Facebook page and YouTube. I'm not as active on YouTube as I am on Instagram. I found Instagram to be more beneficial to me. So that's the platform I mainly work off of, the Instagram page. And here and there, I send emails to my email list. But that's right now how I have my clientele.
And is your like Facebook profile and your YouTube, is it the same name that you have on Instagram, like your professional business name?
Yes, Protective Hairstyle Nation is across all platforms.
Okay. And then you use the same logo and all that, right? For
On my IG, I recently took out my logo and just put my face, but the logo is on my Facebook page, as well as my YouTube.
someone told me too, because I have my logo too on my IG, and someone had recommended me to incorporate a profile picture because it would be more personal.
Yes.
So I was like, yeah, you know what, that does make sense, because like even for me, when I scroll through Instagram and then I see like just branded like a logo or something, I don't even follow. I'm just like, yeah, whatever, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But then when I see like it's an influencer or someone that has a creative mind, and I see their picture or their profile, I'm more inclined to follow them. So that's good. That's interesting that we touch base with that. But and this is part of learning from each other, right? Because there's a lot of things that I should implement in my business, like more like of an email list and things like that. And my process was very similar. When I first started creating documents, I originally started with resumes. So that was pretty much how I built my credibility throughout the years, was resume writing, because people knew that I had a strong academic background and that I was able to, write something nice. So I said, okay, I started doing it. When I started doing it, I was doing it like a giveaway, like for free. So the first three people that is interested in this, come reach out to me and follow me here. All I ask is for a recommendation. Recommendations are so important, because people look at those type of recommendations and they see like what kind of, how passionate you are about your work, what kind of work do you do, how people are responding to your, to your work. So my exchange was, obviously give an honest, good review and let me know what you think. But at the end of the day, like, you're an expert in your field, right? And I'm an expert in my field. I don't know how to do hair. I just know if I wash it and put something on it, then it'll be fine. That's about it. And And same thing, I think people look for that guidance and they say, you know, this person has a profession that or is professional in this aspect, and I want to, you know, go ahead and work with them and things like that. But I did pretty much a similar process. Most of my I guess brand authority is through LinkedIn, and LinkedIn profile, you could find me under my first and last name, Viviana Munoz, and technical writer. And you can find me there. I have also have a Facebook page, a business page, which is also called The Writing Master. My I forgot to mention this, but my company name is called The Writing Master, and it's pretty much the same across the board. Like I have the logo on it on the Facebook. I also have a Twitter. Do you have a Twitter?
No, I do not.
Let me tell you. And here's another thing, right? That there's so many social platforms out there that you don't even know where to go, right? But there are some social platforms, right? Isn't it crazy? You don't know.
You can't spread yourself that wide. It's just
No.
impossible.
No, I completely agree because then you're not nurturing those relationships that people have. And
Exactly.
to piggyback on what you said, like you looking for your ideal clients, when I initially started my Instagram page, I'm like, oh, if I have a lot of followers, I'll be successful. That's
Yeah,
not the
not
case.
true.
You know, you produce really good content, you know, you produce good videos, you be very informative, and your ideal client will come to you because that's the person that's going to be interested in the service or the product that you provide, you
Hmm.
know. And this is just like a learning experience with all of us, you know, that we just end up basically thinking like, okay, you know, we have this much followers and this will happen. No, if you do everything that you're supposed to do in terms of like building your brand and creating good content and things that will be useful to people, you will eventually find your ideal client. Your ideal clients will come to you, and then it will just pretty much build your own community, and your customers end up becoming your own brand ambassadors, you
Yep.
know? And they'll say, man, Omara's stuff is great. Like, I absolutely love it. Like, you guys should check her out. Yeah, okay, I'll check her out, you know. And then eventually people will check you out. And then it kind of starts, you know, growing from there, you know. But I have to say, for me, like I said, it will be more of a link building through web design or web blogging posts, sharing links through Facebook, sharing links through LinkedIn, because I can't really share links on Instagram. It doesn't click over.
Yep.
So unless it's like on your bio. And podcasting, I got into podcasting a few months back. I started last year, December. So basically, the way that I do it is I just I just go over like some blogging posts that I have already written. So it's recycled because you don't want to talk about different, well, at least for me, I don't want to talk about a whole a million subjects and then people get lost. It's like, what is she talking about, you
Yeah.
know? So I mean, yeah.
Why
I
reinvent the wheel if you already have a platform ready? Some resources you can already use. So that's a
Right.
good.
Oh, and another thing before I almost forgot this part. Yeah, so about spreading yourself thin and having all these social medias, there are some social channels that work together, that communicate together. So for instance, like Instagram. Instagram, you can instantly post from Instagram to Facebook or from Instagram to Twitter or from Instagram to Tumblr. So I don't know if you knew that, but
Hmm.
every time that you post on let's say Instagram, you can just put it directly to your Facebook, and that's it, you're done. You don't have to even look at your Facebook. And same thing with LinkedIn. If you did a LinkedIn post, like let's say, you know, whatever once a week, then you can post that to your Twitter, and then that's it. You don't have to look at it no more because it's true. It's like you're spreading yourself thin, you know. I
And
just
similarly, oh, sorry.
no, go ahead.
Yeah, to add on to your point, if someone also has like a blog post, they can also add that post socially to a Facebook, to a what is it, Pinterest. There are other plugins that you can add into your website that'll allow you to auto share the posts that you create as well.
Yes, yes, that's a good way of saying it. Auto share. Off topic, my dad has like 7,000 followers on Pinterest, and I'm like,
Oh
how did you
my
manage
gosh.
to do that? I'm like, how did
Jealous.
you manage to do that? He posts all these videos because he's very like a political man, everything is like, oh, aliens really do exist, they live underground, I just want to let you know. And like he's like he tells these stories that people will be like, what are you talking about? I have to share with you. I'll share with you personally so you can see. But yeah, he'll talk about Osama bin Laden, like some crazy stuff. And people, I don't know what's up with that. But I was like, listen, can you please promote me on your Pinterest? Because,
Right.
and
Hook me up.
yeah, seriously, let me just take over that account. Like, forget about it. But, and he wasn't even trying. I couldn't believe it.
They're
He wasn't
connecting
even
to him as the person.
Yes, yes,
That's what it is.
and that's just, I don't know. People are just weird, whatever. But anyway,
That's why we're in the business, because we're weird on our own rights. So
yes,
the weirdness will
exactly.
connect and find each other.
Yes, exactly, right? Exactly. Oh my God, that's so funny. But it's true because there's billions or millions, I should say, of users on these platforms on a monthly basis, and billions of people online, basically, all the time. Half of the world's population is online. So it's beneficial for people to create an online business for sure, when it comes to like whatever it is that you're looking to do, no matter what it is, right? So, but
Yep.
yeah. So, I mean, commitments, right? That's kind of like our last thing. How do you stay committed to your goals? Like, is there a process that you follow?
That's a work in progress for me. Commitment is a work in progress, especially with being at home every day. I was more focused when I was going to my full-time job and then coming home
Pause.
and doing the business thing, than I am while I'm working from home and then doing the business. It's just like too much time for myself is leaving me out to like hang myself basically. I am not as productive as I should be. So I've been writing down things that I need to do so that I can like check them off a list to make sure that I stay in line with what I need to do. So my commitment level is there when it comes to like doing hair, showing people how to do styles and things of that nature. But my crafting a plan to promote the products that I do have available is where I struggle in saying, okay, I have this coming out next month, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Here's where you can get them. I have a problem with that. And so that's something that I'm working through because I don't want you, the customer, to be like, this girl's always selling to me. I don't know why she even have this page. I'm gonna just keep moving because this is all she does. So I'm moving on. So that's not what I want to be, and that's not how I want to show up in the in this community. So I want to be authentically me, showing you how I style my hair, showing you resources that you can use for styling your own hair, and just embracing the hair you have. But figuring out a way to incorporate products within it so that it's not salesy. It's more, this would help you style your hair better, or it would elevate your style if you added this, this, and that, and things of that nature. So that's a work in progress. I'm a work in progress. We're figuring this thing out.
Yeah, seriously. Have you ever heard of the 80/20 rule?
um, I'll just ask you to say, yeah, let me know.
So it's basically your same mindset, right? That you don't want to just be that person that sells all the time. So the 80/20 rule is 80% engagement and community building, and the 20% is you selling your product or services.
Mm.
So subconsciously, you're doing it right. You're doing it the right way. Because when I first started, I'm like, hey, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this, look at this or whatever.
Yeah.
And it just like you said, it's a learning process, it's a learning curve. So you're doing it right. That's the 80/20 rule. 80% engagement, 80% of of building your community, and then 20% is selling. So, and I have to piggyback on what you said, because yes, I totally feel so out of my element. Like when I was working my full-time job, and then coming home and having my planner open up ready, like, hey, at 7 o'clock, this is what you do. At 8 o'clock, because that's how kind of I plan. I plan by the hour. But now my planner's empty. I'm just
Rough
freestyling
times.
it. Yes. I'm just freestyling it. I'm like, oh, I'll do this today, I'll do that today. And then today I say, you know what? I have to, and this is, you can reset at any level, right? Don't ever feel like, oh, I have to wait till the first of the month. I have to wait. Like today is like my reset. I have 3 days off. I am committed to building a content strategy. I'm committed to, having a goal, or an organizing myself, especially with everything that's going on in this world. Yes, definitely sidetracked. But
Mhm.
I think for me, like my commitment and the way that I um kind of like just commit to my goals is writing everything down. I have to write everything down. I have to visually see it, and then I'll like get inspired by like Tony Robbins video or Gary video or something like that. Those are kind of like the mentors that inspire me. Or I'll, look at people's posts. I'll go to your page sometimes and I'll be like, I want to see what kind of video she's doing. And I've been doing some Instagram creeping because I want to
Yes,
see.
research. It's not creeping. It's
Right.
research.
Yes, that's true. Some Instagram research, but yeah, so again, it's very similar process, different brands. So, I'm glad that we got to do this. I
Yeah,
feel like
definitely.
the jitters have gone away a little bit. And someone
Gone.
said hi. So hi from Canada.
Yeah, that's family.
Ah! I was like, okay, we got an audience. We got an
Yeah.
audience. Oh, that's awesome. Are you from Canada?
No, I have family in Canada. My side, my father's side is a large family, and they're everywhere.
Okay, okay, cool, cool. All right. So do you have anything else to add?
I just had a question for you about your podcast. How do you find your traffic with podcasting versus like LinkedIn?
So the way that I okay, so what I do is I incorporate, because at the end of the recording, you can write a description of what your podcast is about. Hey, this podcast is about, building my brand authority and what I did, and I've done a website, and this is how I built my website, whatever the case is. And I incorporate keywords like brand authority, resume writing, LinkedIn, whatever. I'll incorporate whatever keywords are related to the podcast,
Mhm.
and I will get organic searches, but most of them are through sharing it through like Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn.
Okay.
And it's something that
Come
a
on.
lot of people or everyone would benefit from it, because you can be busy driving and whatever the case is, and you can't
Hmm.
you can't watch a video. There's people that drive for a living, or there's people that drive because they have to, right? We have to go to work, school, whatever the case is.
Yep.
So, you talking about what type of products you use, verbally saying it, things like that, or what type of services, I provide, then it opens up for a whole different audience out there. So, and it's like anything. I started this in December of last year, and it's like anything. It takes time. I personally like podcasts. So I know that if I like it, I know there's going to be tons of people that like it. So, yeah, and I honestly like I just record through my phone. I put it on what do you call that, on airplane mode, so then this way I don't get no notifications, because once you get a notification,
Yeah,
that's
it's
it.
over.
Podcast is done. And
Distraction.
yes, not only that, like it will cut you off.
Oh, really? I didn't know. Oh,
Yes.
man.
Like you would be on it for like 20 minutes. You're doing so good. Everything is great. And then all of a sudden, boop, you got a phone call and you're like, oh my God, are you serious right now? So now I've learned the hard way to airplane mode it, but I use Anchor to record. If you're ever interested in checking
Yeah.
that out.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever have to do a podcast because what I have to offer will be too explain. You'll need to
Yeah,
have the
me
visual to
too.
even understand what the heck is going on.
Yeah,
So it might not
yeah,
work for me.
yeah.
But I was
No,
just
for sure.
curious.
But yeah, yeah, yeah. That's kind of how I do it. Just share my links throughout all different platforms. So,
Hmm.
but oh my gosh, this was good. This was
Yeah,
good.
agreed. Thank you for this.
Yeah, and if you guys have any questions once we finish the recording, please feel free to send us messages, and ask us about, what our processes, our products, our services, or did you like the video? Is there something that you want to hear? I'm looking forward to another collaboration.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. And if you are also interested in knowing like steps to getting started, if you've been curious about starting your own business and didn't really know where to go or have resources or are looking for someone to have a conversation with, we're here too. So feel free to leave a message. We'll be around.
and I have, you know what? Before we end, real quick, I do have something that I'm planning out, and I'll share with you once it's complete. But yeah, so you could be some of the mastermind. Would tell me what you think about it. But
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, I'm here. You know where to find me.
all right, guys. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate all of you.
Yes.